So before we get started, I'd like to give a personal thanks to Asterisk Official, who last week gave a very nice comment about how they liked my opening joke. I always love getting feedbacks on the humor I try to put in, because comedy is actually something I really like to do, so knowing what resonates with people actually helps me out a lot to know where to take jokes in the future. So thank you very much for that. And ultimately, the reason I wanted to do that joke right away as the opener is because I just wanted to get it done and over with. Like, yeah, everyone's doing the ravioli about Lolly Masaki, and everyone's joking about Sexy Eska, but I figured it's just better to get it done, because come on, how many situations is Bushiroad gonna put me in where I have to comment on frickin' lolly looting and frickin' sexy... Oh, god damn it, Bushiroad! You couldn't have waited one episode. You had to put me right back into this situation. Damn you! So, yeah, welcome to Cardfight Vanguard, Shineta episode 2. I think the best way to begin this video is to talk about a reference that they pulled off that I was not expecting. I was not expecting this series to A, do this reference, and B, do it right. And that is that Chrono got referenced this episode. Yeah, they did it. They've officially threw Chrono canonically into the universe. Like, they actually did it, and it was great. And some of you are probably thinking, wait, what? How? Well, it's actually very simple. And that is when Mikuru gets annoyed that Rai is goofing off with Shin. She's like, you were supposed to go shopping. You've got to get diapers. Like, that's actually, because that is Chrono. Chrono would be like a newborn, like, right now. And that's very smart, because it tells you he's there. And more importantly, it's actually a good character scene for Rai, because now, after only one episode, Rai isn't just simply a mentor-friend type character. Rai now feels like a real person. He's not just an entity. He is a guy who probably has a crappy daytime job, which is why he's in the stupid work uniform every episode, and he's got responsibilities. He's got to pay the bills. He's got a wife and child to take care of. That's actually a very good character moment. That's a good way to show you what his life is and to give you that insight without having to beat your head over it. Because trust me, there is a version of this script where they could have easily been like, you've got to get diapers for your baby Chrono, so that way he keeps his swirl in his head normal. You get my point. My point is, it's a good little scene that succeeds at giving Rai character development. It gives him a real life and a real story, and it also gives Mikuru a nice little moment, because it shows that Mikuru isn't just calling people out on their shit because she's meant to be annoying. Like, she is someone who does genuinely care and wants to do the right thing, i.e. in this situation, make sure her nephew is taken care of. It's a nice little bit, and I really quite liked it, and I thought it definitely deserved the shout-out. Next thing we gotta talk about, the Eska scene is whatever. I think I touched on this last week, and based on how the episode ends, we'll get more situations to talk about in the future, but just putting it in simple terms, the main thing I liked about her little thing, I like the bit where you see the butler guy just quickly getting everything off the table and putting everything on. It was just done in a funny way, and I also like that at the end of the video, she's like, look, you can run your card shop however you want. You can do whatever you want. I just want my name on the door. She presents it in a very straightforward, very earnest manner. That's good setup for later, but it's also good establishment for her character. She is very straightforward, and she's not actually really out to have ulterior motives and hide things. She's upfront with everything right up, and she will just give you that option right there. It's a good bit, and I thought it's a good character moment, again, especially for what's at the end, which we'll get to. Unfortunately, we've got to talk about something that came before it. Oh boy, so the main thing that takes up screen time for this episode is that in order to get Shin's deck, which got misplaced with the other deck, they have to dress up as ninjas Now, first up, I'm not against going with the plot line of Shin's deck got switched with the other deck. First and foremost, it does show how important Shin's deck is to him, but also, I kind of get the impression when Shin goes, I put my heart and soul into that deck. He's basically saying he max rarity. He's got SBRs, he's got SPs, like, he ain't losing that shit. And so that's why he then goes off and does the ninja thing. My problem with this is that, A, it goes on way too long, but also it's just not very funny. Like, the thing is that I'm always a firm believer in character-driven narratives like this one. The comedy needs to come from the characters, and that is something I think that V-Series does usually pretty good. But Shin and Mark dressing up like ninjas and trying to be all ninja-y in a big public building is just kind of stupid. And now some of you are saying, but Kevin, this whole season opened with Shin on a skateboard using catnip to attract an army of cats to scare away a woman whose face he was then in the breasts in. I think I said that wrong, but yeah, that is silly, that is goofy, that is funny, but the thing is that it told you stuff. It gave you information about Shin. It told you that Shin is crafty. It told you that he is creative, that he will come up with crazy ideas and he'll just go for it. He's headstrong, he's assertive, and even if it doesn't work out, he'll see it through. That is character establishment. That is showing who he is as a person, as well as giving us an idea what we're in store for with his character to go. Dressing up like a ninja and being a jackass in an office building does not fit with that. I don't see why either of them think this is a good idea or how they think this is going to get them anywhere. Which is sucks because I feel like the right solution was just sitting in front of them the whole time. Make it that Mark, who even though, yes, he loves ninjas and he's clearly got an uncomfortable obsession, make it that he's the one who's just like, let's just go in and ask. Make it he drags Shin to the office building. Shin is kicking and screaming because as much as he wants his deck back, he can't, like, give in and he doesn't want to go back and seem like a pussy after declaring he'll never go to the building. Do that. Make it that the whole time he is just whiny and annoying, but is doing it begrudgingly. That can be really funny, and it's a way to sort of do a different style of humor without having to rely on anything. It can just be quick and over with. The only part of this gag I really liked was the bit where the receptionist clearly figured out it was Shin and was just kind of playing along just to either get him to go away or just give in and just do the right thing about this whole thing. And it was mostly just funny because the actress said it in a funny way. That's it. Like, and especially because then he's just got to go and card fight everyone anyways. Why not just make it that when he did this whole thing, when he was being annoying, originally the receptionist was going to let them just go get the deck back, but have him then be like, nope, you got to fight everybody. Do that. Just don't do this stupid ninja thing. It was just to waste time and to reference the whole Ninja Man thing from the original series. It just didn't work for me at all. If you laughed, that's fine, but I kind of have a feeling this joke didn't do much for a lot of people. And so then Shin beats a whole bunch of people with the trial deck, which they can't show us, because showing us the wrong cards will screw up this show's bizarre world building more than it already is. And then we get, oh boy, do we get the scene. We get the scene that's going to get Shin put on a watch list. So yeah, so the Neo Nectar and Gold Paladin players show up, and then Shin grabs said Neo Nectar player, gets very close, and then frickin' takes the girl to the corner, and the whole time like, ravioli, ravioli, don't follow the lolly, someone call the cops. And then he wants her to show him something and do something for him in exchange for something nice. In this case, obviously, it's just touching the cat, and he just wants the key card. The irony is that as funny in all the wrong ways as this scene was, it's probably the best scene in the episode, because you don't see it coming. And what's sort of good about it is that it's a comedy-driven scene that forwards the plot and runs on the characters' own traits. Shin was creative in that moment. He figured out that the kid had a thing for cats, so he had his cat to impress the girl. The kid then responds in a very funny manner, like the bit where in her head she's just like, the cat's paw! I thought that was really funny. Like, it was. It was clever. It was creative. It was laugh out loud good. And it relied on Shin being creative and the girl having a soft spot for cats. It's a really funny scene. It just sucks that it's A, surrounded by awkwardness, and B, is the successor to a really unfunny scene. So yeah, so then they run up. We get more just kind of weird jokes. Shin finds Eska's bathing suits and then jerks off to them. Oh, that's what I choose to believe happens. That's my canon. And then runs into Eska, and I'm glad they didn't do the thing where Eska threw something at him, although she should have, because he's trespassing, and she is in the shower. Yeah, I know, it's a shower to just get the chlorine, because he's like, why is there a pool here? And we see her in a bathing suit, but I'm just like, okay. Then he gets the deck back, and they run off, but not before facing the guy who looks like Kuwabara, and we get a 15-second showing of Spike Brothers. Once again, the destructive Roar clans get cucked. So yeah, and then they escape, and then the final shot of the episode pisses me off to no end, because it's what the whole thing was building up to. The whole episode is building up to that one final shot. It's why everything had to be dragged out so badly. It's so that way the final shot of the episode can be the picture. It's so the final shot is revealing that Eska is a family friend of the Tokaras, and it establishes that there is more going on here. Fuck you, it is a great scene. It is a quick way, it's a good way to end the episode, because now you start questioning Eska. She's not just the generic 80s movie villain I talked about last week. She has a character. There is more going on here than simply she wants to make money or she wants to spread her business. And I can't wait to see what that is. I just feel like getting there was a little haphazardly put together. But all in all, tell me what you thought of this episode. Tell me if the comedy worked for you. It's fine. It really is. It just wasn't done to my taste. And as for the Vanguard question of the week, the final Miyagi booster is here. So let me know, what deck are you getting from this set? Are you going for the epic calling power of golds? The epic multiple drive checks per turn of royals? Are you the one guy who cares about Nubatama? Just tell me that below. And as always, click to like, click subscribe, and join me next week where we hopefully get those answers.